Hello, it's Dr. Robertson, the volunteer librarian for OSCAR, coming to you with an updated version of the video on the eForm generator. Now, the last time I did this video, we were on version 6.0 of the eForm generator, and now we're up to at least version 7.4. If any of you are running OSCAR 19, you may have seen Dr. Peter Hutton-Zapsky's video on the visual eForm editor. That's not available in most of the regular supported installs. So we are going to go to the regular eForm editor that is built into OSCAR. Just going to start here by downloading a PDF that was sent to me as a request to create an eForm from this. So we're going to download this eForm into my eForm generator folder. And save it there. Once it's been saved, I know from having looked at this PDF already that there are 2 pages to it, which gives me the opportunity to show you how you can edit the PDF into an image file, a PNG file, in both GIMP, which is a free download imaging software, and then also in Photoshop. So the first page we're going to create using GIMP, GIMP it's called, which stands for GNU Image Manipulation Program. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Open, and now I'm going to go to my file folder. If I go into my documents and I go into the eForm generator folder, so I'm looking for the PDF that I just downloaded, which is the CMS Quality Bipolar Disorder Screener. And I'm just going to double click and open that up. And as I mentioned, you can see that there are 2 pages to this. So I'm just going to select the first page here, and I'm going to open it. Once I'm here, the first thing I'm actually going to do is do something called flattening the layers. This PDF shows up as transparent, although you can't see that on the screen right now. But if I go into Image and flatten image, that will change it from being transparent to being a white background. And the next thing I need to do is go back into Image, and I need to scale the image. And what I'm doing when I'm scaling the image is I'm trying to get the width and height back into what's required for the eForm generator. When we open up the eForm generator later, you'll see that it wants a width of 1500 pixels. And if we know what the proportions are for an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, 1500 pixels of width gives us 1941 pixels of length. Sometimes the image that you get, the PDF or the PNG file that you get, isn't exactly to those specifications, and sometimes you have to modify the dimensions slightly. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into width here, And we're going to change that to 1500. And then if I hit tab, we see that it actually automatically changes to the amount I want for height, which is 1941. Now, if it turned out that that bottom number, the height, wasn't what I needed it to be, if it was too long or something like that, I can disconnect the width from the height so that they are not interdependent. And then I can change the height to the number I want, 1941. But in this case, I don't have to do that. So next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to scale my image. And now we have it to the right scale. Once I have it in the right scale, the next thing I need to do is I need to export it to a PNG file. So I'm going to click on File, and I'm going to click on Export As. We're going to have to wait for a second here. And now I'm going to go to Select File by Type. And I'm going to scroll down till I get to PNG. And there is the PNG image that I want. And so now what I want to do is export that to my folder, the same eForm generator folder that I had before. It's giving me compression level I can change. There's a bunch of other settings which I really don't need to change. So then I'm just going to click on Export. And that's going to, actually, if you look down here, image exported to, it goes right to my eForm generator. That's the first image done. Now we're going to do the second image in Photoshop. We're going to shrink down GIMP, and we're going to go to Photoshop, and we're going to open up the photo editor. Now again, I'm going to go to File here, and I'm going to go to Open. And it so happens that my eForm generator folder is already there. So all I really need to do is click on the CMS, quality, bipolar, etc., PDF. And then I'm going to open that. And now I'm going to do the second page. So let's click OK for the second page. And as you can see when I'm in Photoshop, is this checkered background in fact means that it's transparent. So I'm going to go to Layer, and I'm going to go to Flatten Image, and now it's white. Then I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Save for the Web. And there's a bunch of different types of file formats that you can use, but we do want PNG as our file format. We're going to leave it at 16 colors. Now I'm going to go again down to the width here, and I'm going to change the width to 1500. And as you can see, as I was typing that in, it changed the height for me, but the height isn't 1941 like I want it to be. So I am going to disconnect the width from the height, and I'm going to change the height to 1941. And then I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it into the eForm generator. And this is the second page, so there's a 2 there. We're just going to go save. And I had done this before, so I'm replacing what I did before. That's got us both the images. Now we need to move on to Oscar. And the first thing we're going to need to do is load those images up into the images folder. So let's just shrink down Photoshop here, and let's go into Oscar. And now we're going to go into Administration, and we're going to go into Manage eForms, and then we're going to go into Image Library. And then I have to bring those two images into Oscar. So that's the first one right there. We're going to open that up and upload it. And I've already done this once before, so it tells me that the image is already there. Now I'm going to go to the second image and open and upload. And it tells me that that image I've already put there as well. What I should remember, however, is the beginning of the name of the image. So CMS-quality is something I'm going to need to remember when I get into the eForm generator and start doing my production of the actual eForm. So I'm going to stop the video here, but in my next video, I'm actually going to go back to the eForm library, and I'm going to go into Create eForm, and I'm going to select eForm Generator. And there we are with the Oscar eForm Generator version 7.4. We'll go over that last bit there in my next video, and we'll move on.